All right, let's get you prepped for your exam. We're diving deep into two big theories you absolutely need to know: Marxism and constructivism. My goal here? To make sure you can tell them apart, no problem, and walk into that exam feeling totally confident. So, what is the core difference between these two when it comes to your exam? This is the million-dollar question, right? Nailing this distinction is honestly the key to getting those top marks.
Okay, no more waiting around. Let's master these theories and get you ready to pass. We're going to break each one down and then put them right up against each other.
First up, Marxism. So for your exam, I want you to connect Marxism with two big words: economics and power. Think of it this way. Marxists look at the world, and especially globalization, and see it all being driven by one thing: capitalism.
Now, the absolute heart of Marxist theory is a concept called historical materialism. Sounds complicated, but it's not. It's the idea that the economic system, how we make and sell stuff, is like the foundation of a house. Everything else, our laws, our politics, even our culture, it's all built on top of that economic base. So how we produce things, it pretty much shapes everything.
So how does that actually work? Well, Marxists say society is basically split into two groups. You've got the owners, the bourgeoisie, who own the factories, the companies, all the stuff. And then you have the workers, the proletariat, who have to sell their labor to survive. And this creates a constant struggle, right? Because the owners want to get as much value as possible from the workers. Marxists believe this conflict is what really pushes history forward. And here's the kicker. When workers finally realize, hey, we're being exploited, that's called class consciousness. That's when real, massive change can happen.
Okay, so let's apply that to globalization. For a Marxist, globalization isn't some nice, friendly process of connection. Nope. It's just capitalism spreading across the entire globe. And what does that do? It makes inequality worse, both between countries and inside them. It also turns everything into something you can buy or sell, a commodity. Your labor, your culture, you name it. And those big global players like the IMF or the World Bank, from this point of view, they aren't neutral referees. They're basically playing for the capitalist team.
All right, let's switch gears completely and look at our second theory: constructivism. And this is going to paint a very different picture. See, if Marxism is all about the material world, money, factories, power, constructivism is about the non-material world. It's all about ideas, beliefs, and shared understandings.
The huge idea at the core of this theory is the social construction of reality. It's the belief that our world isn't just made of hard, objective facts. A lot of what we take for granted is actually shaped by the ideas we all agree on. Think about it. Money is just paper, right? But we all agree it has value. That's a social construction. What we think is normal or right or wrong, it's all built through how we interact with each other.
And this has some really powerful implications. You've probably heard that the international system is anarchic, right? Meaning there's no single world government. Well, a constructivist would fire back with this famous line: anarchy is what states make of it. It doesn't automatically mean a free-for-all war. If countries believe they're rivals, yeah, they'll probably fight. But if they see each other as partners, they'll cooperate. It all comes down to their shared ideas and their sense of identity, not just how many tanks they have.
So how do constructivists see globalization? Well, for them, it's really about the spread of ideas and norms around the world. I mean, think about the idea of human rights. That wasn't always a global thing. It took people, what they call norm entrepreneurs like activists and thinkers, to push that idea until it became a global standard. It's why a country that sees itself as a democracy acts differently from one that doesn't. Their identity shapes their behavior. And institutions like the UN, they're not static, they evolve as these new ideas take hold.
Okay, deep breath. Now for the most important part. Let's put them right next to each other. This is the comparison you absolutely have to remember for the exam.
Here it is, the single biggest difference you need to know. Marxism is all about material factors. The economy is the engine, plain and simple. Constructivism, on the other hand, is all about ideational factors. It's the shared ideas and norms that shape what we do. Material versus ideational. Burn that into your brain.
And let's get even more specific. Look at their main focus. For Marxism, it's always going to be economic systems and class struggle. For constructivism, it's ideas, norms, and identity. And that difference changes how they see the world changing, too. Marxists are looking for big revolutionary shifts in the economic system. Constructivists, they see change as more of a slow, gradual evolution of what we believe and accept as normal.
All right, let's wrap this up with a final review. What are the absolute non-negotiable points you need to take away for your exam?
And hey, before we do that final recap, just a quick tip. If you want to really nail this down, you can find a complete summary and even test yourself with some practice exams over at gradeguru.nl. It's a great way to make sure this all sticks.
Okay, here we go. The final takeaways. Number 1, Marxism sees globalization as global capitalism. Your key word is exploitation. Number 2, Constructivism sees globalization as spreading norms. Your key word is ideas. The core difference, boiled down? One sees the world driven by money and power. That's the material. The other sees it driven by our beliefs and identity. That's the social. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Which of these two theories do you think does a better job of explaining the global challenges you see around you today?